Bitcoin Daily Update, Thursday, July 6th. We're going to start off on the hourly chart, the short time frames, and then we'll zoom out and see what we're looking at for the levels for today, tomorrow, and the days and weeks ahead. So let's get going. First off, on the hourly chart, we're zoomed way in here. Okay, so what we could be looking at, potentially from what I see so far, we've had our new fresh 2023 highs set as of early this morning, Eastern Time, 5 a.m., high of 31,525. So that was short-lived, right? And then we came all the way back down and we hit the top, pressed outside the Bollinger Bands on the hourly, and then way back down almost immediately a few hours later to the lower Bollinger Bands. So what are we looking at? Potentially a whipsaw move. What is that? Well, it's you basically have like kind of this equilibrium, and then you kind of head fake out, head fake down, and you end up kind of going right back to where you started, right? So it's just to kind of liquidate longs, liquidate shorts, fake you, move you off your toes, and confuse the shit out of everybody, right? So that's a whipsaw. So don't get confused with that. Most likely, that's what we're looking at as of now, right? Where would we start to look at, favoring more downside or upside, right? You'd have to close multiple hourly candles above 31.3. That's really where, all these tops have been and our resistance level is. So multiple candles, right? Not just one, not just, tapping outside of it, multiple candles. That's what we're looking at. So for today, tomorrow, that's what I'd be looking at on the hourly chart, right? But hourly chart, you don't want to put too much weight in. It's, not so good. But look at the 200 right here in the pink, right? Resistance, 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 break through it. So when we get up to it, right, we're looking at mid 30s, right? That's kind of our equilibrium where we have been for many days now. Okay, now you might have noticed these lines below, right? These become more clear as we zoom out a little bit. So not everything is clearest on the a one time frame. So I would suggest moving your scope around to the big one and then the small one, right? Zoom in and out until everything becomes in clear focus, right? So 4-hour chart, we're still hanging out up in this zone, right? Here's our zone, and you can see that 4-hour candle whip up, massive sell off the same candle, right? That's a little concerning, right? You don't want to see these upper shadows nasty looking, right? A little bit more bearish, and now we're seeing follow through on the bear side. So but where we went down to is right at this blue line. That's the 100 EMA, right? We've bounced right off of it. So we still have not set at lower lows. We haven't closed lower lows. So our lowest close as we've been up here is right back here. And that's this line that I've drawn. 29,850-ish area, right? There's our low close. And that is, until we close under that with a 4-hour candle, the odds are we just remain in this zone, right? If we close there, then we can start to favor a little bit more downside. And how much farther downside? Well, you see this zone down here. Not so clear on the 4-hour. So I would invite you to zoom out with us again. You have no choice. I'm taking you with me, right? So 4-hour, going out to the daily now. Daily chart. Now what are we looking at here? Well, here we have our zone. And I'll explain why this is so big in just a moment. Maybe you could see it yourself. For the daily chart, we're just par for the course, chopping around, right? I mean, look back at this candle right here. Friday, last Friday, right? Almost a week ago. The high of 31.3, the low of 29.4, right? We're just playing around, playing in the sandbox, right? Nothing's crazy here. This is where we've been for many days, all the way back to June 21st, right? It's not that long ago, but we've spent some time up here without giving away any of this move. That's a bullish sign. However, let's look at the bulls and bears. You always want to look at both sides. So the bulls would argue we're staying up here. The bears would argue you just closed your first daily candle, right at or slightly under the EMA 8, and your moving average is starting to curl over here. Okay, so I would give the bears that edge on that candle, but we want to see follow through, right? We have to wait for this candle to close 8 hours. Depending on when you watch this, watch and see where this candle closes. If it's an indecision candle, a long-legged doji like we had back last Friday, then, not much meaning to it. However, if we start to close and say we close at 29.8, right, under this line, put in a new lower low close that we have since this whole zone up here, then that would be more concerning. That would be follow through to this thing that we haven't done in a while, right? We haven't closed any candles below the EMA 8. That's kind of right on it. I like more decisive candles, like a harsh close. above or below, right? Like, bigger candles, right? I mean, this is no deciding that we close back through all the moving averages, right? That's a decision candle, decisive candle. Closing right on it, hit or miss. So we'll see where we end up closing today. Again, par for the course, as long as we don't close below this close right here, 29,886 on the daily. That's our lowest close. If you want to look at closing prices, clean up the chart, you just put it on a line chart that eliminates the wicks, the highs, the lows, and just focuses on the daily or close or whatever closing candles in the time frames you're looking at. So a little tip there. What else do we got? Bulls, right? Same thing. We're looking to close multiple candle closes, not just one, right? Above 31K. I mean, even if we get a handful of daily candles closing above 31K, or one of those decisive candles, another like, 5-10% to the upside, even from where we are now, right? 5-10%. If I get the right tool, hang on, bear with me. Let's remove this and we'll see. Let's say we start here and we do a 5 or 10%. We'll look at the price levels we get to, right? 5% gets us right near 32K. 10% gets us upwards of, 33.5. So that's where we're looking at. However, right, the Bollinger Bands are compressing now, right? See this top one kind of closing over and the bottom one rising up. Less volatility is the odds, right? And that's what we've been getting, right? They're closing because we've been going sideways, right? Less volatility leads to more volatility, but we'll see in the days ahead. So this daily zone, why this? Well, again, that closing chart, these two tops, right? Boom, boom. So that's where our support structure should start on the daily if we come down. However, like we said, if we close under this, that favors more downside, right? So that would be kind of our step level one. Maybe if you're in the dollar cost average group, that's where you would start to come back into the market here. 29.5-ish. We could go all the way down to, I would say 28.5, somewhere in this zone. Anywhere in this zone, not financial advice, but this is where I'm buying, right? This is where I would be adding bigger positions back. Don't want to be too greedy on trying to get lower prices in a bull market, certainly in the early bull market, which we are in. Okay, so low prices. Why there? Why did I stop there? Not only this, right? This is our kind of our breakout zone, right? You can put it back on our candles, right? Here was our breakout, right? That was our top. We cut right through it, closed one, and then kaboom, right through other, right? And then here's our zone right here, right? We talked about the tops. Here's our low, right? And matching our, support, breaks down, flips to resistance, right? Here's our low support and our high support, right? So that's the zone, 29.5 all the way down to, roughly 28. So anywhere in that zone is meant for buying, right? That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Not going to change really anything else. Probably going to end up being a wick. That is the odds. All you have in crypto is the odds. Also want to always monitor the lower and upper Bollinger Bands. By definition, prices are high at the ups and prices are low at the bottoms. Okay, so also want to be, just a side note, always look at your bigger moving averages, your 100. Here's your 200, right? So always want to be aware of that. On any chart, right? So let's zoom out to the weekly, see what it looks like here. Again, indecision, right? Our last video that we made, I believe Monday, we're looking at Bitcoin and, indecision. We said the odds are you're probably just going to trend sideways. After a big move, you're digesting the move. Look at the last big move back in March, right? Big move up, indecision, 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 right? Long-legged dojis. Indecision candles by definition for 3 straight weeks. Okay, so we don't have to do it that long. Maybe it's just a couple of weeks, right? Here's 1 week already. In our midst of our second, potentially. We still have half of the week left. So we'll see where we end up going. Could we wick down a little bit lower? But look where the middle of this box is. It's right at your EMA 8 on the weekly. Anytime you can tag your EMA 8 on the weekly, looks like a pretty decent time to buy, certainly in a bull market. Bull market, good time to buy there, right? Wicks could go lower, but maybe the wick only goes down to here. Imagine that, right? You wick down right to 28.7, 28.8. Everyone thinks the lower prices are coming and rebound, right? Look at the last time, right? We break up, move down. Where do we wick off to? Right at the EMA 8. Move back up, almost all the way back up, right? We wick down to a low of 27, went back up the very next week to a high of 27. That's a pretty good move, right? So wicks down, right? Last time we did it after a breakup, we bounced right off of it, okay? So that's my alerts for you for today, tomorrow, and the next day, and the weeks ahead. We'll do another update tomorrow, see how this candle's progressing, see how the daily candles are progressing. We'll see where that ends up closing, do some more interpretation there, and again, lower time frames as well, to keep you updated every step of the way. Hopefully you liked the video. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you did, like button. If you want more help navigating the markets, follow us on Patreon. That link's below. You get access to a private Telegram where I do multiple daily updates. You have the ability to ask questions, altcoin requests, anything you want to talk about in there. Always happy to do it. I have a good bunch of people there, and I'll see you in there, hopefully. Our quote of the day. Laws are like sausages. It's better to not see them being made. I would agree with that. Car of the day. How about we go with a motorcycle again? How about the Yamaha R1? That would be that guy right there. I don't have a picture. I didn't plan it. If you couldn't tell by now, I definitely forgot to do the car update. And I don't have it up there on, and I won't bore you trying to type one and find one in. So we can do a bonus car of the day if you want. Lamborghini. Which one is it? It is the Countach, the new one. Hello, wake up. All right, so we got a twofer because I forgot the picture. How about that? All right, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much for watching this long. If you have 57 gold stars to you, as normal. You're accumulating a bunch of stars early in this bull run. I don't know how much you're going to have in a couple months, but it's going to be a lot.